One thing, I was so happy with the response when Kenny was introduced. It just shows the kind of fans that we have. It shows the respect, and it was just like I said, only at Kentucky would that happen. Now, it didn't happen before, but it happened with Kenny, and people know what he did here and the work he put in, and you know how much time he spent with the kids. And let me just say this, and I know we won the game, and but his team is getting better, and there's no one that I would want running a program knowing if it were my son, I want him to play for Kenny. So I just felt I needed to say that. Questions? Yes.
Cal, after the Missouri game, you talked about limiting the rotation to try to help solve some of the team's issues. Today, only 6 players played in double-digit minutes. So was that intentional, or were you just kind of rolling with what?
No, it's intentional. The biggest thing, I mean, we all, not just us, me too, forget what I've been through every year to get a team right. I can remember the Twins, we didn't go till March. I can remember losing 2 games in Las Vegas and us all panicked. I can remember us losing that game in Seton Hall saying, we're not very good. And that was with PJ and Keldon, and it just takes time when you got new teams. I'm mad at myself because we needed to be playing more deliberate. Playing faster and quicker and shooting three, doing that, that's all good. And you're scoring 60. We played deliberate, which is what my teams have done historically. Still play fast and shoot threes. We didn't shoot as many today. But we scored a lot of points playing deliberate. And you could say, well, it's Louisville. If my team plays this way, deliberate, like we're flying. But if it's not there, and that's why I got upset with a couple guys, when we were playing deliberate, you didn't have something and you turned it over, or, you know, why'd you do that? We're not playing that way. In other words, they score. We were running on makes and trying to quickly get into stuff. Well, guess what? That was killing Antonio and it was killing Chris Livingston because their minds were, we needed to be more deliberate. I think, again, Severe, he had 4 turnovers today, but I got to look at him. The one late I was not happy with, but I think it's better for him that we run, if we rebound it, we're running it right up your back. And if not, and they score, you know, let's get this thing moving. And you notice today that the ball went from one side, we moved it to each other, we passed it, they went zone, the ball moved, it zipped, boom, boom, boom. We've been working on it. We got to continue to work on it. And I'm going to say one more thing. I was happy Louisville came out at half and came out swinging a little bit. Because I got to know, like, you guys cave in? Are you fragile? You know, and I've been spending half of my time working on guys mentally and getting them in a different frame of mind. And so, like, we're going to play now, every team we're playing from here on in is going to be hard. So it may be a closer game. So what? They make a run, we make a run. We just got to play, and it takes me time. It's taken me time every year I've been here. You know, it's funny, I'm sitting with Jeff Shepard. He talked about his time here. He said, we lost 3 home games. We lost to Mississippi at home. And then we started getting it going. And then we won the conference tournament, didn't win the conference. And then went and won the national title. I mean, it takes time when you got new teams to do this. And I wish I was smarter and would be quicker to pick stuff up, but I seem to do the same thing. Yes.
Cal, how do you get Jacob to carry over this mentality to future games and be consistent with it, especially the way he came out the first few minutes attacking?
Well, we've done a lot of work, and it's not been on the court. You had guys feeling the weight of the world, and that's why it came. It's not life and death. We got punched in the mouth, and we're still alive. Now we got the next game. We got our whole league ahead of us. We're fine. But when these kids feel it, they're 18, 19, 20, and they're feeling the weight of the world. And I'm talking like free and loose, and I'm wearing a suit today, and I'm dancing in there, and I'm wanting them to know I'm good. But they got to get in a good frame of mind and then get hit in the mouth. And are you fragile, or do you keep playing? Today he kept playing. And now he's going to do it against better teams. You watch. Now, you want to know why I started him? I just felt that I needed to do that with all the stuff we'd been doing. And I had to thank Lance, because it's funny, I walk into practice and Lance's mom is there, and she's a great lady. And I gave her a hug, and I said, and you're here, and I'm not starting your son tomorrow. You know, I had to tell her. I'm fine. She wasn't fine. Parents are never fine. But he accepted it, and I told him I'm going to play Damian too. And so that's what a great teammate is. Some of the guys that I talked about being all in, that we're going to be more deliberate, we're going to play a certain way. One guy said, I'm absolutely all in. I'll do whatever you need me to do. So I keep coming back to, every day I walk in, I love this team. I wish we were a little bit tougher. But I love the pieces. CJ being out hurts us, but he gives Adu a chance. So now Adu gets a chance to play, and you're going to get a chance to see him. But, you know, the early grind of what we went through, maybe we needed to go through it, and we'll see going forward. But that was something they had to feel, the grind, the deliberateness of how we played. Passing the ball. You ready? Just to pass it. Well, I got to pass it for someone to score. No, just pass it to pass it. And they did that today. So Kaysen was good. My job is to teach them how to win basketball games. I've not done a good job of that to this point, obviously. But you also got to make free throws. I'm doing everything, trying everything. But you noticed when they started going, it's contagious. But how about the first three? What did you say? The first three. Oh my gosh, we may miss 15. So again, I respect these kids. Playing here is really hard, really rewarding, but it's hard. And I said, there's a tax you pay to play here and coach here. It's a tax. It makes it, you got to be thick-skinned and tough. And, but this is a good group. I can't imagine our fans aren't jacked that this is our team. They want to win every game, so do I. I want to win more than their fans want to win. But let's get it right. Let's go forward. Let's see what we are. Let's see, with playing the way we're playing now, where we take things. Yes.
Cal, when a guy's struggling the way Jacob was coming into this game, and he makes a couple early, how do you just not say anything? Do you try to keep sort of
I hugged him
positive
in one
talking
huddle.
through the game?
Look, at Missouri, I had him in my room, and I hugged him, and I said, do you know how much I love you and how much I want you to do well? But I can't do this for you, and you got to get in a different frame of mind. And we talked about it. But he went in that game, and what's the word above awful? So then it became, all right, where do we go with this, and how do we do this? So he did some things. He talked to some people. And I watched him practice, and I loved what I saw. And I called him in, and I said, I'm going to start you tomorrow. What do you think? He said, okay. I said, no. Yes, I want you to start me, coach. Please, thank you. I said, come back and see me. So before practice, he came in, I really want to start. Great, and then you'll start. But again, now when you're dealing with team, you got Lance. Think about what Lance has done with us to hold down the fort and give us a chance when we went through this. So, and Damian, I thought, was better today. Did some good stuff. Yeah.
Coach, when someone like CJ's out and Antonio, he struggled a little bit today, does that change the way you play, or do you just kind of let them try to play through it and figure it out as you go?
No, I think we got a bunch of guys that can make threes, but those two are the best two. And Antonio's issue wasn't offensively, it was what he was doing defensively. And so then when I put him back in and just, play through, he made big baskets. He made 2 floaters that were big. Did he make 2 free throws or 1 of 2? I think he made 1 of 2. 3 or 4? Perfect. Look, today I think we shot 64% from the line. We just got to make that 72 or 73. That's 3 more free throws made. 3 more. And we get to that, you're playing winning basketball and you're making free throws. Now we become the team we're trying to become. Yes.
John, you were talking about Jeff Shepard. I remember when they lost that Valentine's Day, Ole Miss, they said they got together and said, we can't do this on our own. We have to submit to what Coach wants to do, submit to the will of the team, and it took off from there. Is it a similar situation?
You'd have to
here?
ask the players, but they came together. Look, you think you want to do it yourself because you want to do that, and then you get overwhelmed and swamped, and you look around and say, I can't do this myself. We need to do this together. And that's normally when teams come together. What's the comment I've made since I've been here? What's the only thing that brings about change? Wow, a crisis. And here, it's an earthquake if you lose a game or 2. Earthquake, it's a crisis. And now it's overwhelming. And look, I know I don't pay attention to it. I don't know if they don't. Sometimes I think they're reading that stuff. You just can't. It's a different time and age. Jeff, I said, Jeff, what if he had social media back then? I mean, he said, oh, we were getting killed. We got killed. And then we did our thing. But it normally will bring guys together, bring them together. I'm just coming back to, I love the team. I grabbed Adu after. I said, Adu, you're like family. I coached your dad. You're family to me. You're now in the rotation, but I can't tell you how much you're going to play because someone may be playing really well and you won't. Or you go to Missouri and someone wasn't playing well at all and they just left you in. But it's hard. It's hard for these kids to, step back so others can step forward because they want to get out there and play and perform and do it. But do you guys mind if I go out and do radio? I appreciate everybody being